It's the measure, yo. It's gonna always be the measure of the value. We always trying to fix it, and then you end up having to fix it. Don't never look at why though. Like it's always how you feel. Just something to think about, yo. Like that's the only thing. Is that the only particular thing? Like yo, what is he talking about? The way it is to respond, the way it is to intake and output. But it's not though. It's just a conglomerate. It's so much of it. You miss all the little nuances, yo. It's just that. It's just like that. There's so much of it you miss. And it all goes back to the Most High, regardless. As the energies increase, it starts to feel like the days are running together. It's literally because of the scales of how they come down. So what if you was being squeezed energetically, right? That squeeze is gonna feel like, well, what's gonna happen after? It's always something that charges something else. So if you feeling something but there's nothing there to see, but you feel it though. So then you anticipate it, right? That anticipation is the squeeze. Hold on, my cigar pipe going out. Hold on. And most of the time, you get caught in that energy of just reiterate. So now you're going through the motions of physically feeling what that is while you're doing that. And that drain takes a place, right? All these things are taking energy. Everything takes a energy. Listen, takes an energy. It's a lot of unweaving that needs to happen because there's so many things that are connected to tangibles. So then while it's connected, then it has to be a law, a rule, and a state to value it, right? So with all that comes instruction, principle, and value. But is that even relevant to the existence of a growing seed? Yeah, it's so easy to misplace a value out of granted. Like just saying I take it for granted without even saying it by the action. Like you look at small shit like chairs. A chair was an invention. Before you had the comfortability to feel what that would be like, you sat on the ground or something hard with no support. You slept on hard surfaces with no support and your body was used to it. There's so many different values, yo. Like that song. I can't remember the Jamaican artist, but that song "Rockstone" was my pillow. Like it's so many values that speak to so many simple things, and then we take for granted all the creations just to have a creation. Like to say you're able to obtain a creation of somebody's, and it's more value in putting that shit together yourself. Way more value. Because you're not replicating for everybody. You're just doing something for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you're having so much of it. But then if everybody had that aspect of living, then it wouldn't be so much clutter in the world, right? You have some replicates, but people would be able to do it themselves in their own value, right? Which would take the materials for that value. And then the time would delegate the agenda on how much you had to spend in those particular aspects. right? This shit is just something to think about. It's just so many main dynamics that are scattered around. It's like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with like all the jellies and all the peanut butters. For what? You don't need all that shit. The capability of knowing that those are possible is the action in itself. But nah, like this system tries to own shit that's natural and tell you how to deal with it based off its value. No, none of y'all think about shit like that. Y'all just get in this whole conundrum of conversating about the legislation of policy to control. It had one thing got nothing to do with the next. Like, why would I debate you about the value of something that come out the fucking ground? Why would I debate you? And then if I'm gonna debate that, then it's almost like a catch-22. If I'm playing chess, right, I gotta watch how my opponent is moving. So if my opponent throws something out there for me and I jump for it, that might take a piece that I may need in another situation that may be protective. So if I use that piece early and I snatch that up, that might leave that open for me to get executed, right? So why would you jump so early for false values? Like at the end of the day, the people forgot that the laws was in their hand, and the more you started giving the understanding to somebody else to make these questionable decisions, you gave over that particular level of power in some retrospect, like you was in ownership of it. So it's a catch-22. You was never in ownership of what you're being controlled by in the first place, or the things that they control you with. You was never in control of those processes to say, all right, I need you to delegate it. That's the real steez right there. And how you gonna run something that they ain't got no hand in creating? So then you wonder why shit be happening like. And it be so heinous. Like, you'd be like, how'd that happen to them? That was a bad, yeah. You're going to see a lot more of that shit multiplied by 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Individually and collectively. And then it's like a drip down, because frequency comes from a different aspect, a different dimensional aspect. So by the time the reverb happened, right? So you're talking, you're moving, your body's giving off energy. By the time that frequency comes out of you incomplete of what you are and what you're doing, right? And it bounces off. It got a ricochet for a minute, and then it goes down because it's heavier, because it's coming out of a physical. So it goes down, and it goes down, hits the bottom. It gets seen and noticed by other entities and energies that want to invite themselves to your energy because of what your energy entails. Depending on this frequency here, it'll go down if it's lighter, but it won't go as deep because it's lighter. It's just dropping off of you. Some of them is so light they don't even go down. They just go straight up when they come out. You know what I'm saying? And by the time that energy that has all that information of how you're living, the circumstances of what you're going through, what happened, who did what, because keep in mind, your cells are recording everything. Your body recording everything, no matter what you say, what you do. You can speak it, but the intention of the most powerful things that's happening to you, you're going to feel it. Your body going to reverberate in a certain way. It's going to speak for you. This is why they say you have a higher self. Your past lives are your subconscious. They're deep down inside of you that give you remembrance on what not to do. A lot of people don't got that because some of them ain't lived but one life, or this might be their first existence. So understanding these probabilities and how far this energy has to travel. Keep in mind, when it comes out of you, they don't get the message that fast. It has to go through the dimensions. And then it finally gets there off of its intention. Its intention to the value is read by higher frequencies. So then it's cleaned, it's processed, and then it's sent back with everything that's lack. And it comes down hard, so it has to filter through all that. And then when it gets to you with the return and message of what you sent at its core. At the core of that energy, it sends that back filtered. So this is why people be like, it don't work for me. Your intentions is fucked up, first of all. What's at the center of you? That's being, because you got to keep in mind, it's electrical frequency. So the main message of what you're trying to entail should be in the center of you. That should be the main thing. Everything outside of you, the flesh part of it, what you're feeling, what you want from it, what you think, what you expect, how it should look, and all this other shit. That's semantics. That ain't even that gets filtered off as that energy goes through. It gets dropped off. It's like a million hands to rip open the letter. By the time the letter actually gets to the reader, a million hands has ripped off the outside of it. So it doesn't even matter. Like, so you have to be pure in yourself. This is why learning to be still and learning to be within that value of high energy here specifies the level of how your energy is being perceived and released from you, output and input. It's the real science to this. You're a conductor of energy. So this is the most important thing about individuals. But then if I can blind that and dampen all that with everything within systematic understanding, you'll never know. You just keep crying. You will look at other things that are created in the value of you and be in the same detrimental mental space. It'll end up going into certain values. You got people out here speaking on us that look like us, talking about we ain't worth the shit. I'm watching Candace. Even though I rock with Candace, I ain't like what she said. She was just like, yo, all black people got problems. They can't solve a problem. Every time they have a problem, they want to fight. They got gangs, they got this, they got that. She's singling out and then wrapping everything in a hole, throwing a blanket statement. I ain't like that. I ain't like that. Because she just buried everything else that was intelligent within our culture with the problems of, and see, this is what I be talking about. Everybody want to point out all the negative shit like you're not born here to have negativity, like you was born in sin. So that's the norm. That should be the norm. Knowing that you're going to make mistakes should be the norm. Not I'm pointing out everything that you do wrong. That's an oxymoron. That's like saying, why is this fish wet? Oh, it's still got water over there. It's water under this chin too. It's water on this tail. It's a fucking fish. That's what it is. It comes in like that. That's how you know the obliviousness is real. Like the comprehension to the value of what you are as a creation is real. Like a motherfucker would charge you for not being perfect, knowing that you are flawed. If you was perfect, you wouldn't be able to bleed. You wouldn't get hurt. You would be in a system that doesn't affect you in no particular type of way. See, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's too much of a rough edge to the value of how people want to control life. Already dismissing the fact that you're a weak vessel in the first place. And then ultimately for people to shield that or band-aid that idea like it's not real, everybody go out here and they work out and they get diesel to feel stronger and harder. Like they still can't bleed. You know what I'm saying? Like they get bulletproof vests and make companies of authority and tell you that you need to, but they can bleed. That's why they got things to protect them from doing this. So how do you stand in some form of reality, but then point, like this shit dumb to me, yo. I'm like, yo, this shit crazy. And then on top of that, you get the same individuals that put more of this problem to get you mixed up into the value and then blame you for getting tripped up over the plan that they late. Like y'all sit there and be sitting there playing these games. Y'all be like, how you gonna play these games and then get mad because you playing the game, yo? Like one thing don't mean, if you walking in the woods, I'm not about to be like, don't be careful. I'm gonna tell you, be careful because it's holes and tree limbs and vines and thorns and snakes and rocks and all that. You know what I'm saying? You might fall and hurt yourself. You know why I tell you to be careful? Because I know that you weak. You will bleed. And if we somewhere in the woods and I can't get in touch with somebody who can help you from bleeding, you might die. So that means we got to be careful, right? So then what other part of life states the value that doesn't exist? The fuck is y'all be talking about? Like that's the shit. And then y'all turn around and give that value of control to another person. That shit I be talking about, like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, people don't really think. This is what you are. Just like a soft blade of grass. Show me a person who got a yard and they about to take care of it. And they go get some of that Tennessee bluegrass. That beautiful shit. They about to plant some grass in their front yard. They got it fenced in and all that. They about to take care of it, baby, and get it nice and smooth. They can walk around with their shoes off. But then you come over there, oh, it's just grass. You're going to get mad at you because that grass fragile. Say, nah, I need you to leave it alone. If I'm growing tobacco, right? You take them seeds so tiny, you got to lay them on the top. They got to sit with vermiculite and stuff, like some soft stuff. And you got to like spray it with a water bottle. When it comes out, the roots are so soft, you can't be rough with it because it's fragile. Right? And I know this. So then if I put things around it like rocks and animals that don't need to be next to it, and I'm going to turn around and be like, you stupid. Tobacco, you shouldn't have ate the rock. You shouldn't have let the lizard come next to you then. This is the system. That's the system. Remember the story? In California, they had the whole train, and then late night, they had the train stop. Open it up. Nobody around, no authority. Crates of guns. Put it in next to a neighborhood where everybody fighting at. And then they be like, yo, it's gun violence. I don't make this shit up, yo. I just watch it. Oh, you like that? That makes you docile? That makes you cool? You can think on that? We got to make that illegal. I can't get $1 off it? I got to make it illegal. Oh, you getting money after I made every single obstacle hard for you to make money? Made it to where the jobs ain't going to pay you nothing. Make it to where you away from your family. Took everything from you. And you got to side with this in order to make money. But you found another way. I'm making it illegal. Matter of fact, my man going to give you something that you going to come up with. They're going to put you on to the game. You're going to learn from them. And then I'm going to charge you for it. Then I'm going to go build a facility and have you locked up in it. And I'm going to tell you, you know what? Nah, it's cool. Don't do that, though. You know, I'm going to tell you not to do it because I know you're going to do it. I know your soul. I know nothing can tell you not to do anything because at your core, you from the Almighty. I know that about you. You don't know that about yourself. So I know if I ever test you, you're going to go anyway because ain't nothing really can hold you down. You just don't remember that. It's a force in you that just make you go. See, he ain't going to tell you like this. Ain't nobody going to tell you like this. See, you don't want to drive your car. You don't want to drive yourself and comprehend where you riding at. It's a movie I was watching back in the day, and dude, when it was beefing, dude was like, yo, you don't know where you at? And everybody stood up. Like everybody was chilling. You know what I'm saying? Mingling like it was something like you didn't even know it was like all of them was together. Dude and the dude, they started beefing. Dude said something like, you know, Dude was like, what? Nigga, you know where you at? And when he said that and stood up, the whole crowd, the whole party stopped. And everybody stood up. Man, all praise due to the Most High, yo. It's so many ways to pay attention and comprehend and see what's really going on around you. But if you comfortable if you too easily, if you settle too easy, you don't see nothing. That be the real steez. You settle too easy. You selfish. You might be trying to get away with other things in life and be wondering why this happening. That's how karma works. It's like, even if you get past it, you got to still bite it eventually. And you might bite it as soon as you think in your mind, like, I ain't got to bite that. I got away with all that. You ain't never get away with nothing. Your body and your existence was given to you by a higher presence. Knowing that you was going to be weak entailed everything to keep that in design. So this is why you feel some type of way. This is why you get conscious. This is why you get karma. This is why you feel like, oh my God, I know I'm in trouble. I know I did. Because it's telling you that. And what adds to that is a pattern of thinking. Depending on how strong your essence is, you'll surpass that. You'll overdo it because that is your right way of being. So if there's somebody telling you some other ish, you'll surpass it. You falling victim to something that ain't serving your direction of life, you'll overcome it. But you'll have to notice. You have to see yourself, because it ain't about who you around or what you dealing with. It's about how you react to these things. What does it feel like to you? Not what they said. How does it feel to you? Because once in a while, every so often, it feels right. Did it feel right? Then you go with it because it felt right to you. Everybody else was going against it, but it felt good to you. You start getting used to doing the other shit, falling victim to the plan that might be implemented. That's how you know it's a plan. It dawned on you because it was right to them, and they was like, yo, da 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 da. You was like, word. Just like them guns popped up right there. They was like, yo, we got beef. Oh, it's some guns right here. Oh, word. See, straight line thinking. Knowing that everybody was in that mentality. This is how it attacks everything in the whole. This is how it pops up in every single, it just be the stories be different. Somebody will tell you in a heartbeat, oh yeah, man, so it went down like this. Oh, it was a bag, or it was a case, or it was this, or it's always like that. But you're going to find the whole thing collectively when you sit down and actually look at it. You're going to say, yo, I see that. You need me to be bad and good. You need me to show the world what bad and good is. Once you turn off that water hose, it's a wrap. Naga the wise.